Hello, everybody. Bill Platt here, and today's conversation is going to do with a question I get from a lot of folks, which is how do I promote my books? So that's what I'm going to talk about inside this video. And the one thing I want to indicate right up front is a lot of the principles I'm going to teach within this video can apply to any type of book you write, whether you write romance, mystery, nonfiction, biographies, coloring books, journals. It really doesn't matter. The principles I'm sharing with you today will apply to any type of book you create. The only difference is like with a romance, you might your target audience is going to be mostly women. With mystery, if it's a cozy mystery, again, most of your audience are women. But between those two sets, there's different goals that each reader has. So the reader of the romance wants to imagine a world where she is deeply loved by the characters in the books. And the woman who reads the mystery, they're looking to be smart enough to solve the mystery before they get to the end of the book. Now, I do realize I'm using wide paintbrush on that, and that's okay. It was just kind of a small distinction to show you the different kinds of audiences we might be talking to when we're promoting our books. And so with the coloring books, again, we're looking at 85% women in that marketplace. If we're doing education books, it's probably a 60-40 split with men being the majority, but that would be, as far as with my training, what I present for teaching writers how to write better books and how to promote their books, my audience is 60% women, okay? So there are different, subtle differences, but the principles are always the same, okay? So right here, I've got loaded up Gary Vaynerchuk's uh, YouTube page, and there's a reason I got that loaded up. I just want you to see it for right now, but I'm going to come back to that in just a minute. So the thing that I'm going to talk to you about within the context of this video is building an audience. And the reason why Gary V, he goes by Gary V, because most people can never remember, pronounce, or spell his last name, which is Vaynerchuk. So he goes by Gary V, sort of like back in the day, back in the 80s for all you older folks like myself, when John Cougar Mellencamp came out. When the album was released, it's John Cougar. And then because they said nobody's going to remember Mellencamp, so he released the first album under John Cougar, and then he became a superstar. And then he's like, well, if I keep the John Cougar, then I can add my last name back to my pen name, and then people will realize that John Cougar and John Mellencamp are the same person, and I can use my own name on my album. So now we all know John Cougar Mellencamp. But Cougar was never his name, it was a nickname. It was a pen name given to him by the music industry so he could sell more records. Okay? So what we're looking to do here is build an audience and to get and keep attention of the people most likely who want to buy our books. Now, Gary understands that most people wouldn't remember Vaynerchuk or how to spell it, so he shortened his name to V. So Gary V is his YouTube channel, and he also does stuff under the Gary Vaynerchuk, and then he does a wide assortment, so you can find all his videos. He's one of the most uplifting people that I know online, somebody I pay attention to. And the thing with Gary V, he started out with a wine business, and then he mastered YouTube. He was using Google AdWords, and nobody knew what Google AdWords was. And he was using it to promote his dad's wine business. And he built that. His dad never took a vacation in one year. His dad's like, okay, you've gone to college and everything. You got an education, and up until this point in time, all I've let you do at the store is bag ice and take care of customers. And I need to take your mom on vacation. We haven't been on vacation in 20 years, so I'm going on vacation. And I'm going to leave you in charge. And so while his dad was gone for 3 months, he increased sales significantly. And then when his dad came back and realized what he had done without permission, then he promoted him, and now Gary runs a wine store. So first Gary did the wine store, and then he mastered social media. He did AdWords, and then he did YouTube. He's one of the first personalities on YouTube in 2006, I believe. And then he started his own advertising company. So now he does work for multi-million-dollar corporations, and that is his life. So he talks about management, he talks about advertising, he talks about social media, he talks about growing your business, growing your audience, keep and stuff like that. So he covers a lot of material that I'm really interested in, really fascinated by. And one of the things that I really enjoy about Gary Vaynerchuk is that he realizes, he talks to a lot of people in the course of a single day, and he realized at one point that sometimes you never know when the genius is going to come out. So now he has a cameraman who follows him around every waking moment of every single day, and the guy records all of his personal interactions with other people. And then if something brilliant comes out of those interactions, then they'll make a note of it. They'll record the time and what they're looking for, and then they'll send it over to the editing department. And the people over in the editing department will take apart the video and separate the little bite-sized bits and then package them as distributable videos. And then they'll put them out on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and wherever else they are so inclined to put them out. So that's how Gary does this thing. And he's fascinating to me in a lot of ways. Now, he gets paid to do keynote speeches with like advertising conferences and such as that. And in the early days, about 3 years ago, when you do a keynote, the keynote was like a 45-minute to an hour presentation. Then he would take questions from the audience for another hour. And during that time, he would answer anybody had a question, he'd answer the question. And then as he matured in his speaking engagements, he realized that the thing he enjoys most is the interaction he has with his audience, them asking questions and him answering those questions. And he found that this is the best way for him to communicate with his audience. So he started making that keynote part shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. So in the beginning, it was 45 minutes to an hour, and then it's 30 minutes, then it's 15 minutes, and now he does about, he will fly around the world to speak at an event, and he'll speak for 10 minutes and take questions for an hour and 45 minutes. And I think that's absolutely brilliant. And it's very helpful because you don't see the same thing over and over again. So he's got people recording it and then putting it up on Facebook, or not Facebook, but YouTube, and then we can watch his stuff. And a lot of them are presented in 6 minutes, and some of them are 3 minutes, and some of them are 10 minutes, and then his keynotes are about 2 hours. And if you ever are so inclined, do watch the keynotes, okay? And be aware, he cusses as much as I do. And I try to control myself a little bit more, but Gary doesn't care. And so you got to look past the language and understand the message behind what he's sharing. He's a brilliant dude. Absolutely gobsmacked brilliant. And he knows social media. So what we're talking about in this video is how to promote your books. And so there are certain key steps that we need to achieve in order to be able to talk to the people who are likely to want to buy our books. It's partly identifying our audience and talking to them about what is interesting to them. So we look at Gary Vee again. He's got 1.5 million subscribers on YouTube. Those are people who pay attention to what he says, and a lot of them hang on his every word. Now, I like Gary, but I don't watch him every week. What I do is I come in, I'll be in the mood one day where I don't want to do work. So I'm not going to do work. But I'm going to go to YouTube and binge on Gary Vee for a day. And I will watch 8 or 10 hours of Gary Vee in the afternoon. So I will catch up with 6 months in the afternoon. Okay? So I consume in a different way than most folks. And that's fine, however we consume, as long as we consume. It's not so much that we consume it. What's most important is that we learn from it, and we learn to, we figure out how to apply those lessons to what we do to improve our place in the world as a book author or as a book publisher. We want more people to buy our books. So it's important for me that you understand the principles behind what we're doing here. So Gary is just an excellent example of it. And Alex Becker is another guy I follow on YouTube. He cusses almost as much as Alex Becker, and they both make me look like an angel, and I'm not an angel, okay? And I do cuss, but I try not to in the videos. But Alex says that when the people who are watching our videos are not our target audience. Our target audience are the people who are similar to the people who watch our videos. Because most of the people watching our videos don't have any resources, but they have the same interests, goals, and desires as the people who can afford to buy our products. So we do the videos to attract the right audience and to build that avatar that Google and Facebook will use to advertise our products to the right people. Okay? So that's the reason we're doing it. And even what I'm doing with these training videos, exact same thing. I am building an avatar within YouTube, within the Google algorithm. I'm building an avatar of what my perfect customer looks like, and then I can use that to advertise to 1 million people who aren't you. Okay? So I can use my advertising money to grow a new audience, not the audience I already have, but a new audience based on the similarities of those people to the people who really care about what I say. Okay? So here in a minute, I'm going to disappear, Gary, and I've got a checklist there that I'm going to show you, but I'm not ready to get to that point just yet. One of the things I do want to tell you is that, like on Facebook, I made the mistake when I started out. I didn't realize what Facebook was when I first got on. Now, I got on in like 2012, and I didn't really start using Facebook till 2015. And then when I started using it, I still didn't really understand how Facebook worked. And now I've like taken a deep dive, and I understand how it works, and I understand I made a lot of mistakes in the beginning. And what those mistakes were in the beginning was that I created my Facebook timeline as my business channel. And I should have never done that. I should have created a page that's Bill Platt author, or Bill Platt training instructor, or Bill Platt journals, or Bill Platt nonfiction writing, or Bill Platt book promotion, or something along those lines, right? So I should have built an individual page on Facebook with my identity as my front face to my customers. Okay? And then when I advertised my presence on Facebook, I should have linked to that Facebook page. I didn't. I linked to my Facebook timeline. And here's where that becomes an issue. My Facebook timeline is actually for me to communicate with friends and family. And so my family's on there, and sometimes we exchange like personal stuff, and my friends are on there, my local friends and my long distance friends are on there, and so I've got a sense of humor, okay, and I'm very political in my private life, and so that's what I do on my Facebook. So the reality is, if you don't like dirty jokes, then don't follow me on Facebook. And if you don't like politics, don't follow me on Facebook. But my Facebook groups are completely different. I do not drag my politics into the Book a Day System group, okay? Most of you probably don't, unless you follow me on my Facebook page, my Facebook timeline, you probably don't know what my politics are. And that's the way it should be, okay? And the people, so I got this group, the Book a Day group. I've also got the authors of coloring books for adults group, and both of them are very popular, and I do a lot of stuff in there, and that's how most people interact with me online. And then I've also got pages for my pen names. My pen names all have their own pages, and I interact with customers there as well. But I should have never pointed people to my personal Facebook timeline, because that's friends and family. So I had a blow up like 2 weeks ago, and somebody decided that, oh, Bill, how dare you post dirty jokes on your Facebook timeline? Because I'm offended by that. You should quit, because I'm offended. And frankly, I don't play that way, okay? So if you're offended, be offended somewhere else. Just unfollow me and go on your merry way. And so what stirred that up was somebody said, I find what you said entirely offensive. And I said, well, if you found that offensive, then you're too easily offended. And boom, nuclear bomb, okay? So if you're offended by things like that, don't follow me on my Facebook timeline. That's friends and family. If you want to know what I can teach you, follow me in the Facebook groups. If you want to know what I can teach you, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you want to know what I can teach you, buy my products, okay? I'm here to help you. But my personal time, my personal Facebook timeline is my personal life. It's not my business life, okay? So that's the mistake I made early on. I pointed people to my Facebook timeline. I should never have done that. You should not either. And there are more than one reason why to do that. If you have young children, maybe you have grandkids. You don't want some guy across town following your Facebook page and watching you post pictures of your grandchildren. Don't do it, okay? So if you want to build your audience, build it on a Facebook page. Don't do it on your personal Facebook timeline, okay? So now I've got that out of the way, we can get on with the good stuff. So when you build your Facebook page, and like I said, it really doesn't matter. These principles will apply to everything we do when we're promoting ourselves online. And so what we're going to do is, the principles I'm teaching today are what I call the A.I.I.M book promotion strategy. And eventually this will be turned into a product, but today it's free because I'm an awesome guy. So there are 4 parts to the A.I.I.M strategy, and you're going to understand those here in just a minute. But this is a strategy that Gary Vee uses. It's a strategy that Alex Becker uses. It's a strategy that I use. It's a strategy that Di uses. And we use it to promote ourselves and promote our products and promote our books online. Okay? So the very first one in that series is attention. We have to get people's attention. We have to stand out from the crowd. We have to be abnormal, because normal is hiding And don't look at me. I'm nobody special. You shouldn't care about what I do because I'm just average, ordinary person. But you can't be that way. I am an attention hound. There's nothing wrong with it, but the more attention I get, the more money I make. So that's like my driving factor. Believe it or not, and most people don't believe it, if you meet me in person, I'm a really shy person. I'm an introvert. But I understand also I have to overcome my fears of personal interaction. And that's been a work in progress for 35, 40 years. And I'm still somewhat shy. But I've also learned that when I'm in front of a camera or in front of a microphone or writing in a book, there's no real interaction there. So the interaction is what I allow there to be. Okay? So the first thing we have to do is get people's attention. We have to stand apart from the crowd. We have to be somebody that people want to pay attention to. So Gary Vee, everybody wants to pay attention to him. He's got 1.5 million subscribers on YouTube. And part of that is sincerity. In order for people to relate with us one-on-one, they have to sense our sincerity towards them, that we actually want to help them achieve their goals. So in my case, I'm doing the training for book authors. Gary is doing training for advertising, training for marketing, training for life. Alex Becker also does the training for online business owners or e-commerce stores. So we're all just a little bit different, but we're all doing the same thing. We want to convey to you our serious interest in helping you achieve your goals. So I'm doing something for you, okay? And because I'm doing something for you, you're more inclined to pay attention to what I say. But sincerity is not the only issue there. It's not the only factor involved in getting attention. We must be sincere, we must be knowledgeable, and we must be focused on the customer. What does the customer need? What can I help the customer do? Okay? And so when your focus is on your customer and not on yourself, then people are more inclined to pay attention because you're somebody that is sincere, you're knowledgeable, you care about what happens to them, and you're not lost in your own personal private world where I'm not a narcissist. I'm not doing this so you can hear the sound of my voice. I'm doing this because I'm helping you. And because you want to learn what I'm teaching you, pay attention, right? So that's the first step in the A.I.I.M book promotion strategy. We have to get people's attention. And sometimes we do that by jokes. Sometimes we do it by soft humor. And I make a distinction there because jokes in my world are sometimes dirty. Soft humor is when I can joke about things without it being offensive. So, I was going to give an example, but my brain's coming up dead right now. So a soft joke would be, I'm not even going to go there. I just can't do it on the fly. I should have planned that, but I didn't. So the first thing we have to do is get attention. And so we do that usually through one of three factors. We either entertain them, we inform them, or we educate them. Well, educate and inform is the same. So we need to entertain, we need to educate, and the other one is inspire. We need to inspire them. So there's a lot of things I share that are frankly inspiring. So between my jokes and my dirty jokes and my politics, there's some inspiration for the people who want it, right? So that's what we have to do to get attention. We have to give people the kind of content that they want to consume. People pay attention. I saw a comment the other day on one of my Facebook posts, and they said, when I first saw this, I'm like, who the heck would post that? And then I realized it's Bill. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it's okay because Bill posted it. So we all stand apart in our own different ways, okay? And so within the Book a Day System group and with authors for coloring book authors for coloring, authors of coloring books for adults group, um, I'm giving instruction to people who publish those types of books. I've also, in years past, taught people how to write nonfiction, and I've taught book promotion along the way. But every one of these factors are helpful to the person who wants to learn how to not only write books. Anybody can write a book. Anybody can upload the book to Amazon. Anybody can go tell their friends about their book. But what makes us stand apart is when we don't even have to tell the family. We just go out and start promoting the book, and then we make money. And then later they can ask you, well, how is it you're paying your bills not going to work? Well, I've had that conversation with people. And so it comes down to, well, I didn't tell you, but 2 years ago I wrote a book, and that book's taking care of me financially now. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is get attention. We need people looking at us and thinking, hey, I might like that guy. I might want to pay attention to what that person's doing. So that's the first step. The second step is we need to create interaction with our audience. So through the Book a Day system Facebook group and the Authors for Coloring Book Authors group, Authors for Coloring Books for Adults, I keep messing that up. Through those two groups, I interact with my audience. And you are watching this video because you like what I do and you interact with me personally on a personal level. So interaction, and it doesn't have to be, we don't have to go to dinner to interact. You can post a comment on one of my posts and I can say thank you, and that's interaction. Or you can ask a question on one of my posts and I give you an answer. That's interaction. So we need to get attention, then we need to create an interaction with our audience. We need to communicate human to human. We need to have that conversation with them as a human being. They have to feel special. They have to feel like they're important. They have to feel like you actually care about them and what they want in their life. Okay? So the next step is interest. If you can get their attention and you can create that interest or that interaction, then they're going to be interested in what you say today, and they're going to be interested in what you say tomorrow, and they're going to be interested in what you say 6 months from now. What we're doing here, it's a process by which we build fans for our books. And what is a fan but a fanatic? Somebody who will buy everything you put out. Somebody who feels so connected to you that they want to do anything they can to support you financially so that you will continue doing what you do that makes their life special. One of the ways to do this, like with the coloring books, I know several people, they create a coloring book, then they take the best image out of that coloring book and share it with a Facebook group and say, hey, y'all color it, print this out on your home computer, color it, and then send me a picture of what you colored, and whoever colored this in the most beautiful way will become the book cover. The person who's coloring of my image is on the book cover of the book. And then inside the book, I will give you credit for having done the creative coloring on the image inside my book. So I'm going to satisfy your ego, your sense of need for recognition, by mentioning inside my book that you are the one who colored my cover. Another variation of that is another friend of mine writes cozy mystery books. And when she writes those cozy mystery books, she creates anywhere from 3 to 5 potential book covers for her book. Then she sends it out to her Facebook group, or her Facebook page, actually. And she asks people, tell me which one you like the best. And then everybody's able to vote on the cover they like the best. Now, what has happened here in that interaction is every time somebody casts a vote for the book cover they want to see on your book, you are creating a connection with them. You are creating interaction with them. And you're allowing them to have a vested interest in the success of your book. Whenever they like you enough that they could almost be friends with you, even though they've never seen you in person, they've never heard the sound of your voice, they've never met you for dinner, they've never seen you at the store, they've never seen you out around town. Despite all of that, they feel they have a personal connection with you, and they like the you that they see. That's the first step. So once they do that, then you invite them to vote on your book cover or color the image for my book cover. And now they have a vested interest in the success of your book, because when you're successful, they feel successful themselves because they helped you become successful. They want to give back to you because you put so much value into their life. You're entertaining them, you're educating them, you're informing them, you're inspiring them. And they want to repay you the favor that you did for them. Okay, so the first thing is we got to get attention. Then we got to create interaction. And then we got to create interest in what we're doing. We want them to care about what we are doing. And then the final step is messaging. We want to communicate to them a message. Hey, I just released my newest book. It's available over on Amazon. Check it out. You don't have to ask them to buy. Just, hey, fans, the people who are my fans, I've got a new book out. Check it out. Here's the link. And then ask them to get on your mailing list. At the end of the book, say, hey, if you want to get on my mailing list, I'll send you a gift. I will send you a free chapter, or I'll send you the prequel chapter for my nonfiction book or fiction book, or I'll send you a PDF with a free coloring book image in it, or I'll send you a cheat sheet that tells you how to make the best use of the journal you're reading today or you're using today. Sign up for my list and I'll get you that free gift. And then once they're on that list, you can communicate with them again in the future. And if you don't want to spend money on lists, go over MailChimp. They'll give you the first 500 subscribers for free. So go to MailChimp and set up an account and point people in the back of your book to MailChimp. And once they're on your list and they have you have given them the free gift, ask them to leave a review on your book if they purchase it. So if you've done enough that they feel like they're almost friends with you, even though they've never seen you in person or haven't shaken your hand or given you a hug or anything like that, they still feel like they're your friends. How many of you have actually, within the sound of my voice, have actually met me in person? Probably about half a dozen of you, okay? But most of you like me anyway, despite my flaws. Now, I've got plenty of them, okay? So, y'all like me, or you wouldn't be 34 minutes into a video with me. You like me. So the messaging is, I've got a new book. Check it out. Once they get into the mailing list, let them know, hey, I hope you like that free gift I gave you. I just released a new book. You may have already purchased a copy. If you like the book, please go over to Amazon and leave a review. Now, asking people to leave a review isn't against the terms of service of Amazon. Telling them what they have to say is against the terms. Telling them that they have to buy something else from you is against the terms. You cannot compel people to leave a review to get a gift. But you can give them a gift for getting on your list. And then you can ask them, if you like my book, would you mind taking just a couple minutes and going over to Amazon and leaving a review on my book? I'd certainly appreciate it. Okay? So we're getting people's attention. Hey, look at me. Right? We do that by giving people the kind of content they want to consume. If, like, for example, I talk about target audience a lot. So if you're selling a prayer journal, you want to talk to somebody who probably goes to church every day, somebody who is very vociferous in their Christian faith. You don't want to talk to the person who hasn't gone to church in 30 years. You want to talk to the person who goes to church every Sunday morning, right? One is your target audience. The other might have been your target audience 30 years ago, but they're not today. Okay? So talk to the right audience and give them the kind of content they want to consume. So you're selling a prayer journal, then give them links to offer them a PDF that has 5 different, my 5 favorite Bible verses. And then you tell them why you like each verse, and you share with them the address of that particular verse. So Matthew 5:16. And I just made that up. I have no idea what that is. I've read the Bible enough. I should know, but I don't know. Okay? So you say, I really like Matthew 5:16 because this is how it impacted my life, and this is how it improved how I interact with my world. I also like John 3:16, which, for God so loved the world. I do know that one. How about that? I also like Acts 2:11. And this is the reason why I liked Acts 2:11. I also really liked Revelation 15:34. And this is why. So you're just writing up a short document, probably 1 page, putting it into a PDF, and giving it to people as a gift. Or you're putting it into a Facebook post. And then you're attracting the people who are most likely to want to buy your prayer journal. Okay? If you're doing like a weight loss journal, for example, what do people want who want to lose weight? They want to know what are foods I can eat that are nutritional. They want to know what foods I can eat that don't pack on the pounds. So don't eat bread. Eat plenty of fruit. Watermelon's great for you. Peaches are great for you. They'll give you a lot of natural sugar without you actually consuming sugar, which will cause you to put on weight. So instead of eating a bowl of Fruity Pebbles for breakfast, eat a peach for breakfast. Okay? So tell them things that can help them in their process of losing weight. And then introduce them to your weight loss journal. If you are doing like a farming journal, what do farmers care about? Well, they want to know when the sun's coming up every week. Of course, they check the newspaper, they check online. Those things work. They want to know when the best planting times are. You already know that. But what might really make an impact on them is research has found that such and such bug is great for knocking down pests in the cornfield, and the bugs who eat those pests also eat this particular flower. So you would increase your product yield by planting this flower in amongst your corn. You might have just saved them $1,000 or saved them $1,000 worth of crop. Little things like that, small things. One of the joke posts I saw was in order to kill a mosquito, all you need is a stick, a rock, a glass of vodka, and I don't remember the other one, but the joke was that the mosquito would drink from the vodka, trip over the stick, fall, and hit their head on the rock and die. Okay? So, it's a joke, but it leads to helping us understand what people want. They want these little, like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not wives' tales. It's just simple things we can do naturally around the house. Like, I used to have a house that one of the neighbor kids came to spend the night, and with them came the roaches. And it took me forever to get rid of those roaches, but I figured out that not only borax acid is good for that, but also they package, you can go down and get ground up seashells in a big 10-pound bag at Lowe's, and you can put it on the ground, and it's a non-toxic way to get rid of roaches. And it won't hurt your other animals, so the cat won't get hurt, the dog won't get hurt, whatever. But the way it works is the ground up seashells have sharp edges, and when the roaches walk through the seashells, it cuts their exoskeleton, and then they die of dehydration. So little things like that can serve your audience well. So you're giving people 5 tips or 5 suggestions or 5 whatever in a 1-sheet piece of paper, and at the end of that you say, hey, if you like this, you might also like my journal. Click here. So I hope this makes sense to you. If you have any questions, do drop them down below and I will try to answer them. But the primary thing is the principle that we're working with here. We got to get people's attention. We got to get them looking at us. We got to create interaction with those people. They have to feel that they have a personal relationship with us, even though the personal relationship is only online and only sharing comments on posts. We have to create interest in the products we're selling. And that's merely just targeting the right audience and telling them about our product and letting them go and make the choice for themselves, and messaging, hey, I got a new product, check it out, here's the link. There's no requirement for you to buy, but if you'd like it, maybe you'd like to buy it. Okay? So attention, interaction, interest, and messaging. I hope these principles make sense. They can be applied to any type of book you write, whether it's romance, mystery, science fiction, nonfiction, coloring books, journals. It'll work for all of them. Okay? So my name is Bill Platt. Until next time, have a great day.